But anyway, another movie that I did see, which is like the last legit movie that I watched, and I was like, oh, this is crazy. This is like almost made me fall in love with movies again.
Yeah.
I watched this movie called The Gangster, the Cop, and the Devil, bro. That's the name. It was a Korean film. And
That's pretty punk rock.
It's called The Gangster, the Cop, and the Devil.
Yeah.
So pretty much there's a serial killer loose in Korea.
Uh-huh.
And what the serial killer does is, like, on a rainy day or whatever, he'll like rear end you. Mm-hmm. And when you go out to check the damage, he talks to you like, oh man, I'm sorry, I'm gonna pay for it. And then when you turn around to whatever, he like stabs you with this like sushi knife.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And I'm not saying that to be racist. That's what it was. It was like a cooking. It was like a Japanese.
It was a Korean
cooking,
movie.
Yeah, it was a cooking knife because eventually they find that knife and they're like, oh, whoever this is, he acid off his own fingerprints. He like, because the dude was actually
metal. Yeah.
The serial killer was actually like disturbed, right?
Yeah.
But the thing was, one day the serial killer, he tries to pull that shit on this the boss, right? The gangster, the underground boss.
Yeah.
Who's like this big, like, he's like this big, not sumo wrestler big, but he's just like me, like a big bull.
Kingpin,
you know what I mean?
big or?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
okay.
so he's like pretty much Korean kingpin.
Yeah.
And he just happens, like, he just did some business
He's
or
the boss.
whatever, and he's on his way home. The dude tries to pull up, do that on him.
Uh-huh.
And, the gangster's like, oh, don't worry about it, just leave. Because usually people are like, oh, let me take a picture, let me get your information.
Yeah.
And
write down your shit.
The gangster's like, nah, bro, don't worry about it, just get out of here. And then the serial killer's like, and he tries to stab him.
This is where I usually intervene.
Yeah, the dude, he tries to stab the gangster. The gangster like stops him, because he's from the streets, bro. There's a reason. There's a reason he's a top.
Yeah.
But he smacks him and he like punches him in the face, and it's just a full out fight, bro. And he gets stabbed a little bit.
Yeah.
And then he hurts that dude a little bit, and then so like the dude gets away. They treat the gangster.
Yeah.
And then at the same time, there's like a cop. There's like a cop who's like on the task force to catch the serial killer.
Yeah.
So he knows the gangster's a criminal, but now the gangster and the cop have to work together. They have to use each other's resources and information to find the serial killer. But the thing is, they can't trust each other either.
Yeah.
So the gangster has a plan to set up the cop, and the cop has a plan to set up the gangster after they catch the serial killer. And so there's like a bunch of stuff going on.
It's like a crime triangle.
Yeah, but it's so good. You want me to tell you the whole thing?
Yeah.
All right, so a lot of stuff.
On Netflix?
No, it's like on Tubi. You gotta watch it on something. So, like, it's good though.
Yeah.
The gangster, the cop, and the serial killer.
No, that's racist.
All right. Sometimes my racism, there's a fucking unit coming out of the
Yeah, I see him in the fucking pork chop, bro.
So anyway, they have to work together.
Yeah.
And then they eventually find them. And then one part that's sad is that the way they find them is because they're like trying to, they send all the gangsters minions, you know what I mean? Like the foot soldiers.
Yeah.
He sends them out, hey, go figure it out, go see what's up. The cop, he has people over here, he has resources. And then eventually they're looking for him in this one area, and it's raining, right? And the gangster, he just happens to be next to like this schoolgirl that's getting wet.
Yeah.
With the rain, and the gangster's like, here, take this umbrella. And she's like, no. And he's like, just take it. And so the gangster...
Bitch, take the fucking umbrella.
Yeah, so the gangster gives his umbrella to the girl. Uh-huh. And, she's like, nice. And she gets on the bus and she goes away. Later, they're at the bar, and they're like, some girl was murdered. And then when they showed the crime scene, you could see the gangster's umbrella. Like, it had like a certain pattern on it.
Yeah.
And so they're like, oh, he's over there. He's in that area. And, the gangster was sad about the girl dying, but they're going to get this dude. And so pretty much, he doesn't tell the cop. Oh, I know he's in this area because of that girl. I gave her my umbrella.
Yeah.
And the cop, he knows to
he's
follow
this dude. He's got to take
dude.
it in his own hands?
Yeah. So they're both taking it into their own hands.
Yeah.
And then they eventually corner him, and now they have him, right?
Yeah.
And then the cop's talking to the gangster. The gangster's trying to kill the dude, and the dude's trying to get away. And then the cop's like, look, man, I have an idea. You're going to have to trust me. Like, I know we were going to betray each other. You're going to have to trust me, and you're going to have to turn yourself in. Right? To the boss. He's saying that to the Korean boss. And the Korean boss.
The cop is saying that to the boss.
To the Korean gangster boss.
Yeah. Okay.
And the serial killer, they got him, bro. He's like beat up on the ground.
Yeah.
He's like, but the dude wants to kill him. The other dude wants to bring him to justice. And the dude's like, okay.
Kill him.
But here's the thing. He's like, I have a way where we both get what we want. I'm going to bring him to justice. You're going to get what you want. He's like, okay, I don't know how we're gonna do that. And so they're in the court. They're in the courtroom, and then the gangster has to come in and testify, and he's like, and the judge is like, okay, how do we know this is the real serial killer or whatever? And then he's like, oh, when he attacked me in the rain, he left me a scar right here with a knife. So he like took off his shirt, and this dude's like yoked, bro. Not yoked. He's not shredded.
He's like big man strong.
He's like a big dude,
yeah.
right? He's like tatted up, like real
mountain man.
Yeah, like real like mafioso, right?
Yeah.
So he's like, he has these scars right here. He's like, I got a scar here and here. And then if he's the one that I fought in the rain, then he has a scar here and here. And then they whatever.
Yeah.
They checked him out, and he was telling the truth. So in doing that, the gangster sent himself to prison, but the serial killer went to prison too.
Yeah.
So like we see, a day or week or whatever, and we see the serial killer. He's in prison. He's like in his jumpsuit, and he's like reading a book by himself under the tree.
Yeah.
Chilling, right?
Yeah.
And then you see
being
the
a
bus.
psychopath.
Yeah. Reading a book like a psychopath. And then we see the bus come in, right?
Yeah.
And when the bus comes in, everybody in the courtyard, all these Korean dudes in the courtyard, they go line up by the fence and they start bowing to the bus because the boss is coming, bro.
Oh shit.
And then the boss gets off, he comes into the courtyard, and they all just turn and look at the serial killer, bro, who's reading his book.
Oh shit.
And it ends right there, bro. It was
That's pretty lit,
100%, bro. Every Korean movie or show that I've seen has been 100%, bro. Korea has no.
Yeah.
No,
that's what Squid Game come out of.
Squid
too,
Game.
right? Yeah.
Squid Games was cool. The Gangster, the Cop, and the Devil.
Have you ever seen Old Boy?
Old Boy, that's what I'm gonna say.
Yeah. Me and Wilder watched the American version of Old Boy. It was with like
Josh Brolin. Josh
that what it
Brolin
was?
and the girl who's
yeah, it's the Scarlet Witch.
yeah, Elizabeth, the better Olsen.
Olsen, yeah. Yeah, we watched the American version, but I've heard that like the Korean one is like better, I guess.
I'll tell you right now.
Let's hear
In
it.
the Korean version,
Yeah, like what's the differences?
well, I haven't seen the American one,
Oh, okay.
but in the Korean version, another one real quick. In the Korean version, he's like a drunk in the beginning.
Yeah.
And then
okay.
his buddy comes and gets him, like, yo, you gotta go home, bro. I'm gonna call your wife. When he calls his wife, he turns around, he's gone.
Yeah.
The drunk guy is, the main character.
Yeah. Because they abduct them.
Yeah, they abduct him.
Uh-huh.
And then he wakes up, he's in a room. He's like in a motel room.
Yep.
And he's in the motel room for 15 years.
Eating the same meal.
Eating dumplings every day for dinner. So eventually, one day he wakes up, and he's free, bro. He's just out. Like, he doesn't know why he was in there in the first place. He doesn't know why he's out.
Oh, I don't remember if he just like got let out in the American one though, or if he fucking found his way out.
Well, I remember in the Korean one, he's trying to dig his way out with like a chopstick.
Yeah.
He's trying to carve the bricks out.
Like Shawshank.
And eventually he does, but before he does, they set him free for, you know what I mean? You don't know why.
Yeah.
And then he becomes friends with this girl that works at the sushi restaurant or whatever.
Yep.
And then he wants to find them, and the only way he can find them is going restaurant by restaurant,
Eating the dumplings.
tasting all the dumplings to see who it is.
Yes.
And so like that's what he does, and then eventually he finds out who did it, right? In the Korean version, it's like this kid that used to go to school with him a long time ago.
Yes.
And the dude, the bad guy, he was like sleeping with his sister. Like
the dad of the dude that he knows, it was in the American one, it was the dad. Because the dad was the one that was sleeping with the brother's sister.
So just his daughter, if it's his brother's sister.
Yeah,
I get it. Oh, okay.
But like, and you're saying like in the Korean one, like it's the brother.
Yeah, brother
that
and
he's
sister.
Fucking,
yeah, there's no dad.
Oh,
it's just brother and sister.
Okay.
And now the
All right,
brother.
slight difference. Still incest, but slight difference.
Yeah. But the thing is, like the sister, after like he told people like that he saw them doing that.
Yes.
The sister killed herself.
Yeah.
And then that's why. So he's doing this to him to get revenge for his sister.
Because the chick is actually his daughter too. That's in the shop.
Yeah. So the girl that he befriends and ends up having sex with turns out to be his daughter.
It was like a fucking 20-year long revenge plot.
Yeah, bro. And at the end, the bad guy, after everything happened, he just kills himself. Like, because he's like, all right, I'm done. Yeah. He just kills himself.
Oh, does he kill himself in the American one? Yeah, because I remember like Wilder had known like I think he had either seen it or whatever before, but I didn't. So I was like, oh, that's hot. Elizabeth Olsen, that's hot. Whatever. And then you find out later it's his fucking daughter, and I was like, oh my god.
Yeah, that's a.
Spoiler alert if you guys haven't seen that movie.
Spoiler alert for both of those movies. Yeah, bro. What would be some advice you would give to yourself, like in a situation that specifically?
Like past Jimmy.
Yeah, young Jimmy.
Oh, in what aspect? You know what I mean? Like,
Okay, let's do. Okay, what advice would you give yourself before you went to boot camp, before you got to the fleet,
okay,
and then before you got out, bro? So
I would
those 3 stages. Those were 3 versions.
Yeah,
of it, you know what I mean,
yeah.
completely different.
pre-boot camp. I would tell myself to fucking do more pull-ups. Like, I remember I left boot camp only being able to do 16 fucking pull-ups. Like, I'm still not good at fucking pull-ups. Like, I'm ass at them.
Yeah.
But yeah, and I remember when I got there, I could only do fucking 7, and like, you know, other people my size and whatnot, because I was kind of big.
How tall are you, bro?
6'1".
Same.
So yeah, you know, tall shit. But I remember like other 18-year-olds would be able to knock out like 20, 24 pull-ups, and I was over here doing like knocking out 10 in the first PFT.
Okay, so that's your boot camp advice.
Yeah, that'd be my boot camp advice. And then you said MCT advice?
No, fleet. When you got to the fleet.
Advice.
Okay, let me do my boot camp while you think of your.
Yeah.
All right, so if I would tell myself my boot camp. Okay, well, me just personally, if I would have just focused on becoming a better runner, my entire career in the Marines would have been different.
Cardio.
It would have been better. My entire career would have been better because I've always been a bad runner, so I had a slow time, and like, if I don't run, that directly affects my weight, which I've always like been a bigger dude.
Yeah.
So if I would have just been a better runner, just overall, my career would have been different.
I'm the same way too. I feel like I would have told pre-fleet. No, before MCT, I would have been like, don't fucking smoke cigarettes and focus more on cardio. Because I was the same way up until I started to decide to start going to the gym with Wilder. I was the same way where every fucking PT, I was like on my ass. Like I was like, and it wasn't because I was out of shape. I just had the worst lungs known to man because I was smoking a pack of Newports a day. So I would have been like, yeah, don't either cut back or stop doing it. I'd probably also tell myself not to fucking take that first generation of NCOs we had so seriously. Like I had better NCOs than the first ones around.
Oh yeah. Huh?
Yeah.
So that was my running. If I would have just been a better runner, things would have been different.
Yeah.
But my boot camp advice would be that when you go into boot camp, don't think that don't think that it's just you. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, if you don't fuck up, you're gonna be good. If you do this right, you're gonna be good.
Yeah.
Nah, bro. The whole thing is designed for you to get fucked. Like, and you're gonna get fucked. Yeah. You're gonna get fucked by something. Like,
it's gonna suck no matter what.
Like, you might get fucked by the PTs. You might get fucked by just
the mental.
For me, physically, it was like the fuck games, bro. Just like
scuzzing and fucking and the Foot Locker push-ups and the
scuzzing for sure. Scuzzing.
Because the PT you would do outside was nothing compared to the shit that they would make you do in your squad bay. Like they would just like have us on our asses for hours. Yo, okay, so you were my company. Did you ever have to do the fucking games where you had to have both hands on your canteen
and sit?
You had to,
yes, bro.
Bro. That was the fucking worst. That was like all the first phase was just stand up without using your hands.
Wait,
and it doesn't sound hard, but it was probably the hardest part of fucking boot camp.
Yeah, bro. So imagine having your canteen, right? You're holding it at port arms like this. You're standing up straight.
Yeah.
And you have to sit down.
Yep.
Indian style, right? Crisscross, whatever.
And then back up.
And then you have to stand right back up.
Yeah.
With your hands like this, stand up, and then back down, bro.
Yep.
And I remember one time they did this to us so much. Like that day, we just happened to stay home from church or something. Or like we didn't go to church that Sunday.
Yeah.
And we got fucked so hard, and they would do little things like that. So that would be my advice: is like when you go into boot camp, don't think you're not going to get fucked.
Yeah.
Because something's gonna fuck you.
Yeah.
And I don't mean that in a literal way. But
something's gonna enter you.
Yeah, because you're either gonna get fucked by the PTs, the actual stress of how chaotic everything is.
Yeah.
But like overall, bro, it's kind of easy. Like you don't have to think.
Yeah, it's the easiest part that you do in your 4 years. But like at the same time, like it's also the stupidest shit you do in your 4 years.
Yeah. So that would be my boot camp advice. Mm-hmm. Don't go into boot camp thinking just because you're good, you're gonna be all right. Mm-hmm. You're gonna get fucked by something.
Yeah.
All right, your fleet advice?
I was like I said earlier too. Like, don't take it too seriously when you first get there. Obviously, like, because it's almost the same thing it's almost like the same concept of boot camp. Like being a brand new PFC in the fleet, like you're gonna get fucked with. So just like ride the waves. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like your NCOs don't really have it out for you. Because I remember when our first fucking field day, You know how like that's always like a fucking. It's just like boot camp all over again. It's a chaotic event trying to like welcome you into the fucking fleet. And me and Wilder had to stay up till like 3 a.m. scraping fucking wax off of our floors with a knife because the fucker who lived in our room before never mopped his floor. He just put it was like it was like a seal. It was like a wax seal, but he didn't fucking sweep beforehand. So there was like pubes and hairs and shit underneath the wax seal. And like we kept trying to scrub our floors and like nothing was coming up. And like I remember even seeing our like Sergeant Duran and Sergeant Eckel. They're like what the why is this isn't fucking clean yet? Like they were getting pissed at us, and we're like, it's not from a lack of trying.
Damn, bro.
So we had to start scraping that shit off with fucking knives and shit, and then that transferred into the next field day too.
Yeah, those field days get rough. I've forgotten about those.
Yeah, especially like as a because even like when you like you're in for a year or so in the fleet, like if you're a Lance Corporal, you don't really get fucked with that much, but
yeah. Yeah, so watch out for field days.
Yeah.
But my advice for a fleet, when you get to the fleet, is don't act. Bro, when you get to the fleet, don't get here talking about no boot camp, MCT war stories.
Yeah.
Nobody cares about anything. Nobody cares about where you're from.
You'll get yelled at.
Bro, don't show up thinking you're hot shit.
Uh-huh.
I think you should show up humble, work hard, and then you'll know when you earned it, bro.
Yeah, because that's the shit that the NCOs will pay attention to, too, is that, like, oh, shit.
Don't scare me,
Keep
bitch.
walking. Yeah, keep walking.
Don't scare me, ho. I'm from the...
He's got fucking birthing hips over there.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah, because that's what the NCOs would notice, too, is that if you just fucking, like, shut up and actually work, then you're not going to get fucked with as hard.
Yeah, that would be... My advice is be humble, work hard until you don't have to. And you'll know when you can skate. You'll see it.
Yeah.
All right, and then advice for getting out?
Yo, I remember I talked to Pope about this too, because he would, when I was out, you know, we were still hanging out, and he was like, yo, like, what's some advice for getting out? And I was like, you gotta fucking jump into something right away. Like, don't sit around. Because I fucking sat around. When I got out, I had to wait until the fall semester, so I was doing nothing for like 4 months straight.
Yeah.
I was like, again, smoking a fucking pack a day, not leaving my apartment at all during the day, and like, it's like you go internal just sitting in there by yourself, because Megan was still in the Navy, so she was going to work every day, and this was before we had dogs, so it was just me in that apartment.
He's just probably checking off a lot, man. Just
I'll beat my meat 7 times a day.
Just dehydrated. You're like, babe, bring some
I need some Pedialyte.
Yeah, that's what babe, bring some Pedialyte. Damn, bro.
So, it felt like fucking solitary, because
so
like,
you say like, so you're saying like jump into something, but you're saying like have a plan, like.
Yeah, have a plan, but you know, you take, it's like, it's okay to take a few months off firsthand, but like like we talked about this in the first episode too, is that, you know, like you'll start feeling like you don't have a purpose real quick, so it's like it's good to jump into like get a job right from the get-go, or you know, get going with college right away. I mean, college is all right. It's not a huge purpose, but it's something, you know.
Yeah, that's all I'm really doing right now, other than sometimes when I say things that I'm doing, it feels like a lot. It feels, but I'm kind of just like, it's because I'm saying them at once, but they kind of like take their own time.
It's not a lot each day.
Yeah,
it's a lot of a little.
Yeah,
I get it.
But for the most part, I'm a stay-at-home dad. I stay at home, watch my kid all day, and it's the best, bro. He's cool. He just unlocked jumping. Yeah, he just
learned how to jump.
Yeah, he just unlocked jumping. And so his grandma gave him a trampoline, so we just but he was like too young to use it.
Yeah.
So now he's using it. He's like just jumping on the trampoline, and he's like smart, bro. I see him, and like he's so big now.
Yeah.
But I'm a stay-at-home dad, and like my family kind of roasts me for it. They call me like daddy daycare and stuff like that.
That's the best job a dad can have, though, right? Like.
Yeah, like I'm having a good time. I got the other one. I got a baby boy on the way.
Yeah.
I think he's gonna be a boy. We don't know yet.
You guys doing a gender reveal?
Yeah, because my parents are coming.
Oh, okay.
In a few next week, I think they'll be here.
Yeah.
They'll probably do the gender reveal then. And I actually haven't seen my parents in the last. I'm 30. I left when I was 17. So in the last 12 years, bro.
Good Lord. You haven't seen them in 12 years?
No, bro. Hold on. Let me.
Oh, okay.
Hold on, bro. Let me get there.
He's finishing.
In the last 12 years, I've only eaten my mom's home cooking probably 3 times, bro.
Oh, okay.
4 times.
Yeah.
So like, if she comes over, she's making home cooked meals.
Yeah.
I'll probably be happy.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm gonna get to see them. They get to meet my son, and my Melissa's pregnant.
Yeah.
So to see that, and I think my mom's excited because she's never seen me like as a dad. You know what I mean? When I last saw her, I was still.
That's like a whole new step in your relationship. Yeah.
Yeah, but so I'm a stay-at-home dad. I do college, which is literally the worst. Well, no, it's not the worst. There's obviously worse things, but it's just so boring, I think. And
it could do worse things for a paycheck, but yeah, I get it.
It's boring. But the good thing is they're paying me.
Yeah.
I was able to do my disability for a lot of things that I had wrong with me. They're paying me. I'm learning a lot about different VA programs because there's a VA program. It's a different GI Bill for if you have enough disability, and you can get your pilot's license, bro.
Oh, okay.
You can either get like a fixed wing or a helicopter pilot's license.
Yeah.
So that'd be cool if I get a pilot's license and work for the city.
Is that like the GI Bill would pay for it?
Yes, but you have to have. But it's not the 9/11 GI Bill. It's called the vocational GI Bill. Because you know how there's like the Montgomery.
Yeah.
The 9/11.
Yeah.
So there's another one, but for that one you have to have a certain amount of disability.
Oh.
And you have to do like an interview with one of the VA persons.
Okay. All right.
So I have my interview scheduled.
Hell yeah.
That should be cool. So I'm doing my school. I invested in a company not too long ago, and that just got like a lot of green lights.
Yeah.
So I should be set.
It's like you're still a jack of all trades. You know what I mean?
Yeah, jack of all trades is what I do. I think when I first started, just like really coming out of my like as an adult.
Uh-huh.
I remember thinking like I think I have what it takes, and this is without trying to sound cocky.
Yeah.
I think I do have what it takes to become the most interesting man in the world, and that's obviously from the Dos Equis commercials.
Yeah.
Because he was just such a legend. Like he was a fictional person.
He is the most interesting man in the world.
I just think like when I was growing up, instead of just trying to figure out what I wanted to do, I started at the end. Right.
Yeah. I'm
an old man on my deathbed, saying my last few words, and I want to be able to look back. And be like, I want to be able to tell myself that I did good. Oh,
yes.
You know what I mean? And I just want to say, you did good, kid, and just close my eyes and
and welcome death like an old friend.
yeah, and just smile.
Just watch Harry Potter, so.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But no, I get that, because like I remember like my favorite movie growing up, and it still is Forrest Gump, and I was always like, damn, that dude did everything.
Yeah,
like I want to live a life like Forrest Gump, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
A little bit of everything.
We should all be like Forrest Gump.
Yeah.
Speaking of Forrest Gump, you know Tran?
Yeah.
You know Bubba.
Speaking of motherfuckers who can run.
Speaking of Alabama. Anyway, so Bayou Laboutry, that's where Tran is from. And that's where Bubba's from in the movie.
Oh, really?
Bayou Laboutry, yeah.
I thought that was like a fictional place.
No, it's real. But I just wanted to live a full life.
Yeah.
And at the end be proud of the life that I lived. And then, once you figure that out, and besides, I was a dishwasher, so literally washing these dishes, and I'm like, you know what? I got to do something else, man. This can't be it.
Yeah.
I became a cook. Became a cook, became a chef, and I just keep trying, man. So I'm doing stay-at-home dad. I do these videos. I do the podcast. I've been slacking on the podcast, but I'm gonna do it again.
Yeah.
All right, I promise. I promise.
For the movies.
For the movies and for the fans. Do the Tran. Do the podcast. Do the videos.
Yeah.
What did I say? What else? That's about it, man. Oh, comedy. I'm doing comedy.
Yeah. This is jack of all trades, a little bit of everything.
A little bit of everything. I gotta clean my garage.
I hope when me and Megan start having kids too, that I have the opportunity to be a stay-at-home dad, at least like for a little bit. You know what I mean?
Bro, it's literally the best.
Yeah.
I mean, other than when my son's like an asshole, but he's all right. He's just a kid. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because even at the end of the day, you give it fucking 10 years, you're gonna be like, he wasn't that bad.
Yeah, no. Even at the end of the night, once he's going to sleep and it's just me watching TV,
yeah,
I'm like, nah, he was good.
No regrets.
Man. If anything, I was impatient with him, something like that.
Yeah, no regrets.
But yeah, I gotta you know what I'm trying to do is finish my garage, and then if this is boring, I'll just edit it out. But I want to finish my garage because it's just like 4x4s. You know what I mean? It's just like studs.
Yeah. And
then I have like the garage, like all my workout stuff in there.
Yeah.
So I want it to be like actually nice.
Like a set up home gym.
Yeah. And I feel like I could do it, bro. We used to build saw huts all the time.
Yeah. Fucking you remember during the pandemic, I remember seeing on like Wells' stories, like him and fucking Pork Chop, like they built their own bench press and they built their own squat rack and shit.
Bro, everybody was doing that during the pandemic.
When the gyms were closed, yeah.
That's crazy, bro.
I was like, I'm just gonna take a break. You guys go ahead.
Yeah. I'm on hiatus for a year.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm probably gonna buy hella Dwayne Johnson hoodies. He's
One up bigger than the other.
He's like, 2 Dwayne Johnson hoodies? That'll be $900.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why he has his private jet, because these hoodies are $100. All right, guys. We hope we weren't too racist this time, or sexist,
Or offensive.
or whatever. Everybody who's saying that I was hella supporting gay Disney or whatever. I don't support anybody. I judge everyone individually. That's my motto.
Yeah.
Jimmy, who do you hate?
Myself.
Same.
I don't hate any groups of people either. All right. I feel the same way. As long as you mind your own business.
Yeah,
that's
mind your
all.
own
That's all that
business.
fucking matters.
Mind your own business and know your place, ho.
Yeah. And don't get mad about Disney movies.
Yeah.
Speaking of, yeah, I know we talked about the Buzz Lightyear one last time, but like, if you're mad that the Little Mermaid is black, you got to reevaluate some things, man.
Yeah.
Find something better to be mad at.
I can't believe it, bro. So much like controversy.
Yeah, over a fucking kids movie.
You know what it is, bro? Like, you never see it in real life. It's only
Yeah.
on the media. It's the media.
It's everybody's always like trying to latch on to some new panic. You know what I mean? Or some new thing to be mad at.
Yeah, people hate a lot on the internet, but when I talk to people in person, when I do, nobody cares. No,
Yeah.
I'm like, so I think it's just the media feeding you, bro. So like,
Yeah. Mind your own business, people.
only subscribe to my YouTube channel. Because I'm hateful openly, if I'm hateful at all. And then
Yeah, we'll tell you how we feel.
I'll tell you how I really feel, son. Yeah, I mean, if you like hanging out with us, if you think we're funny, like, subscribe, and all of that.
Give a shout out.
Yeah, give a shout out, man. Do whatever you want, really. I have a podcast called the Cine-Ops Podcast, and it's on all the major things like
Spotify,
iTunes, Pandora. I don't know if you can just be like, Alexa, play that boy's podcast, but it might. Right? It's called the Cine-Ops Podcast. I just did a recent rebrand because it used to be called Dr. Devil Barbershop, but now it's called the Cine-Ops Podcast, and I have a logo, and I do the podcast better than I do videos. I think it's more.
It's a structure. It's more of a structure.
Yeah,
we're
more
just
of a structure.
freeballing it here.
Yeah, here we're just freeballing. There's only a few subscribers and watchers, but over there,
He's known globally.
triple digits, baby.
Yeah.
No. It's definitely a couple thousand. So
No biggie.
I mean, it's a couple thousand on the podcast. In the podcast, I just narrate movies because you were there.
Yeah.
Origin story. When I did the podcast, we were on a field op. We were on an ITX, right?
Yeah. That's where
And
it started.
we were in the middle of nowhere, no service, no nothing. And then whenever we had some downtime, chow time, I would just be able to remember movies, like even the small details, and I would just recite these movies from memory. You know, like what was one that you remember?
Django. Django was always a big one that I remember because I had never seen it, but you had explained it to us, and then like I felt like I had seen it afterwards.
Precisely.
Yeah. Or Holes. Holes was always a good one. The classics.
So each episode is a different movie that I'm telling.
Yeah.
And I just tell you the movie as if, we were just right here. Like, I'm telling you what happened. Kind of like the way I told the one earlier in this video.
Uh-huh.
Just like that. Just like a cool vibe. Nothing super professional, you know what I mean? Just like me saying the N-word sometimes. Whatever.
It was like sitting around a campfire listening to a story, you know?
Yeah, that's mainly what it is. I just want to be able to... It's like a campfire style storytelling.
Yeah.
Like, I don't really add too much, sound effects or anything.
The impressions are usually pretty funny, though. He does impressions of certain actors, and they're either spot on or hysterical.
Yeah, I do the impressions, and if you don't know this, every podcast, every episode, one take. No biggie, one take.
That's how professionals do it.
Yeah. And I've been doing the podcast since 2018, bro.
Wow.
Yeah. I think maybe
that's why he's got 1,000 followers now.
Yeah, I have almost 1,000 followers. No, it actually doesn't tell me followers because you know how it's like I have a host site, right? So I
Okay.
upload to here,
Yeah.
and then that site plays it on Spotify, Apple, everything like iHeartRadio, even iHeartRadio, brother.
Mm-hmm.
So like
It's on everything.
So when I see the stats, it doesn't tell me followers. It just tells me how many plays, downloads. It tells me downloads actually.
Oh, okay.
So plays is actually more, but I still get a lot of downloads across like different websites, like the Spotify or iTunes.
Yeah.
And then it'll tell me like in what country, from what kind of device, like whether it's the web browser or the Spotify app. And then it'll tell me like my most played episode. Most played episode is The Sandlot.
Oh, really?
Yeah, people
love The Sandlot.
It's a classic. But anyway, yeah, check out Cine-Ops podcast if you want.
It's good. I can vouch for it.
Check out this one. We're probably gonna start doing cooking vlogs. So you're gonna come over and we'll cook. Because if we just keep eating, we might as well just show you how to cook something. All right?
Mo Snacks with Jimbo.
Yeah.
It's not Mo Snacks anymore. It's gonna be Jimbo Snacks.
Yeah, we'll think of something clever.
Something that rhymes.
Jamboree with Jimbo's. No.
We're getting somewhere though.
Shrimp boil with shadow. No.
Jumbo eats with Jimbo. Jumbo food.
Jimbo. Shrimp bowl.
Jimbo.
Jimbo's
Jimbo bowls.
Yeah, Jimbo's acai bowls. Acai bowls. I'm probably gonna edit some of that stuff out. Anything else you wanna say?
Stay fresh.
Like, subscribe. I love you guys. I'll see you next time.
Peace.